One. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
Woo!
back. Episode 28, the Marshall Falk episode, Sean.
Marshall Falk. That was one of my favorites. That's the guy.
I mean, the greatest show on turf.
He was the reason why they were the greatest show on turf.
He was 100% dynamic.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
He changed the game. Those receivers were great, but if you didn't have him out of the backfield or running the ball, no matter which way you wanted to go, that wouldn't have been the same.
Yep. And by the way, folks, this was supposed to be our first live episode because we're a day late recording due to me wanting to watch Monday Night Football, being greedy.
Also, we don't know the rules of YouTube and didn't realize it takes 24 hours.
It literally, we tried to do it and they said no, and then we went back in to do it again, and it said you need to wait 24 hours before you're authorized to record live video.
Blame it on us. We're slackers. We didn't know.
We're old. We're slackers. We didn't know.
Slackers.
But hey, whatever. We're going to make it work. So we're back on Zoom today because I didn't feel like setting up the whole thing after setting up one other whole thing.
So, Hoover, how was your weekend?
My weekend was good. I mean, we got to go away for a little bit.
We did.
Had a little guys' night, got really drunk, and then sobered up before the end of the night.
You specifically.
You specifically. I don't think you have got drunk at all.
Not in your ballpark.
I got woken up at 6 a.m. in the morning by you leaving. And
I thought it was quiet, but you were the only one who seemed to hear me. So.
The other thing is I probably would have been able to sleep through, but it was hot as hell in our room that night.
I didn't notice that. So
I had to turn the AC on.
That was also how much you drank. So by the way, this was a late birthday party for him. So
super late, like 90 days late.
That's your partner. What do you want?
What do you want? It's what we do. What's the unofficial sponsor this week, Sean?
Well, it is brought to you by him, and it is the Manhattan. I don't know enough about it.
What is the Manhattan? I just like the bottle. It says the Manhattan Barrel Finished Cocktail, crafted in a collaboration with the editors Esquire.
Great. So this is brought to us by a magazine. All right.
Manhattan made whiskey with Kentucky straight bourbon and vermouth.
So right off the bat, you just said cocktail, which means this is a mixing whiskey.
Yep.
So this is probably not going to be.
I didn't look at it. I just bought it.
This is not going to be our best option.
No.
Nope. But let's go for it.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Not horrible.
I actually kind of like it. It's got like a smooth finish. It's got a nice flavor. I bet it would taste really good on the rocks.
I can see why it's called the Manhattan. It kind of got that kind of vibe to it.
Yeah, I kind of like that. How was your weekend, Sean?
Whew, all over the place. Between headed up to your birthday bash, avoiding your puke.
Yeah, I did vomit. I think I was mixing a little. I had the whiskey, and then I had the apple beer with
Eric's concoction,
which was apple beer and Fireball mixed together.
No, he didn't even have just apple. He had the Natty Light apple.
Oh yeah. But I mean, it tasted great. At least while I was intoxicated, it tasted great.
Oh, what else did we have? So that morning, I had to wake up super early. Before everybody else was awake and be out the door to head back to the city so I can get to the first homecoming for my son at his school and get to see that parade and that whole deal with them. After that, I forget, we had something else going on that day, but I forget about it. Then it's football Sunday, and it was my mother-in-law's birthday at that same day. So
did you actually get to watch your game? Or
most of it.
Okay.
Most of it.
Not that you probably wanted to halfway through it.
Yeah, I mean, that first quarter was okay. After the first quarter, kind of checked out, but we'll talk.
News of the week.
Congratulations. Is
that
part of your news?
I mean, yeah, I guess
it's the very top.
It's at the very top. I was going to talk about the trade first.
Well, why would you confuse me?
I don't know. I didn't even.
He makes the card, and you guys can go back to our episodes of how many complaints he has about not following the card. So I follow the card,
and then I don't follow.
And then you don't follow the card.
Yeah, I don't follow the card. There was a trade that happened. I think Monday, and it was the Carolina Panthers traded Dan Arnold, and a 3rd-round pick to get CJ
Henderson, which
Henderson
was
from the Jaguars.
first-round corner just 2 years ago. Sounds similar to the Minka trade because I like CJ Henderson as a quarterback.
I mean, where was Dallason's? I would have totally traded Jeremy Sprinkle and a 3rd-round pick for a decent corner.
Yeah,
you know?
Dan Arnold was a starting tight end, though.
I mean, Jeremy Sprinkle gets
You
on
have
the
2
field.
tight ends. You can give up one of your 2 guys.
I don't know. I wouldn't know who to give up at this point.
Give up Blake Jarwin. He needs a new starting point.
And of course, that happens right before the Cowboys play the Panthers. They looked at the schedule and they're like, "Holy cow! We have the most dynamic receiving unit in the NFL coming to town. I guess we better go get a corner."
Holy shit! We also like our 3-0 record. We would probably like to continue if we can. And we also just lost our star running back and our star corner that we just drafted.
Yeah, they got hit with the injury bug on Thursday. And it's Thursday night football. It seems like every week it's Thursday night football that bangs teams up.
By the way, real quick, you just said the injury bug. Have you noticed that there's a shit ton of injury bug going around the league this year?
There is.
Hamstrings, ankles.
It seems like it gets worse and worse every year. And I think it's because the league just becomes more, light on practices, light on hitting in practice, like the game's just not as physical. And then you get into the game, which is still very physical. And, you're just not holding up.
Like you just said, the Panthers obviously brought up the Steelers before. We all know what happened to the Ravens this offseason. There's the Rams as well going down a list here.
Oh, yeah.
I probably can go through other teams if I was really paying enough attention to it.
Yeah.
And just
my team's been obliterated.
Oh, Gallup. Who else?
Gallup. We got
Zach Martin was out for first.
Zach Martin had COVID. We lost Collins to suspension, and then we lost DeMarcus Lawrence for 8 weeks to a broken foot in practice. So yeah, it's been an injury riddled year, and the Panthers are trying to keep their success rolling.
They were wishing it was Madden and you can go into the settings and turn injuries off.
Don't we all?
That's the NFL. That's the commissioner right now. Can I go into the settings and turn injuries off?
I wish you could. I would 100% sign up for that because I feel like my team gets hammered with injuries so badly every year.
Dude, my team, I obviously posted the picture of the dumpster fire, but not to say anything, but my team literally lost half of their starting defense.
Yes.
They're wrong. They still did decent for half the unit being injured.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the star of the unit's injured, TJ Watt.
And your offense didn't do him any favors.
We'll get to that, but no. Geez, have you noticed that there's been some banger games on Thursdays and on Sunday nights and Monday nights lately? This year,
the Thursday night game. I mean, there was the Cowboys Bucs game, but
this Thursday wasn't. This Thursday
wasn't. Really weren't that great. And this one coming up is not going to be very good.
But they couldn't have went into it planning that General Mills would have been the starting quarterback for Houston. They couldn't have planned that, could they?
No, but they also couldn't have planned Houston actually being decent with Tyrod Taylor either.
I would honestly bet that they made the schedule based off Deshaun Watson when they were considering it.
They probably did, yeah. They probably they'll find a way to make it work with Deshaun, right?
And you have a star player in the matchup.
And then again, this week, while not very exciting, is last year's number 1 overall versus this year's number 1 overall pick, right? So it's Burrow versus Lawrence.
Oh, jeez.
They're going to build that up. And God, are they building up the Brady versus the Patriots next week?
Oh, I'm sure they are.
Oh, my God. Did you see the montage on Sunday night?
No.
Oh, they had this, it was an Adele song, the Hello Adele song. It was like a legit, minute and a half montage that they did coming back from commercial break.
Right.
And then, it was just that. And then they went to Collinsworth and Al Michaels, just talking about the game upcoming. Mm-hmm. And they're like, I can't wait for this. Building it up. Meanwhile, it's going to be a freaking blowout, right?
Brady versus Mac.
Oh, my God. It's going to be a blowout. It's disgusting. There was one game of the week coming into this week, which ended up totally not being the game of the week, right?
Yeah, no. The Rams and the Bucs.
Nothing
wrong. It was fun.
It was fun, I felt like it was over pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, the Rams are for real. I know we had our Super Bowl show a few months ago at this point now. And I know that was my pick for the Super Bowl. And boy, are they making me feel comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah,
they seem to do whatever they want right now.
Not that my Super Bowl pick didn't too bad either this week, right?
No.
It's interesting to see, how the Rams, just with a change at quarterback, can just turn into the most dynamic. Like I didn't think Cooper Kupp was that dynamic.
But that's just not the Rams. That's as a team.
Oh, don't give the coach credit.
I am giving the coach credit.
Don't give the coach credit.
Give a coach a quarterback that can play his game. And look what happens. What happened with Patrick Mahomes when he went to Andy Reid?
I don't know, man. Like,
wasn't that something I said a few years ago?
And I still think they're shooting themselves in the foot. They have a legit 2 to 3 year window.
Yeah, but they've been doing that for years. They traded for Jalen Ramsey. They traded for...
Yeah, they haven't had a first-round pick since Goff.
And they're not going to.
And they're not going to for another, 3 years down the road.
Right.
It's crazy.
They're playing to win now. That's all they care about is win now. They got that new stadium. They got the new city, the whole thing. They're trying to win right now, and that's it.
Which, as a coach, I guess that's what you should be doing in the NFL, right? So let's win now so I don't get fired.
Well, and then we'll figure the money out later on.
Yeah, we'll figure it out later on.
That's all they're going to do. Patriots did it for years. They sucked at drafting.
Do you think the Rams are that much better than the Bucs?
No.
I just think it was an off day for the Bucs.
I think this is early season. We talk about early season. We've said it already. Week 4 or 5, I guess this year is round about when you start to see consistency. And there's been a lot of up and downs. Like the Raiders. I expected the Raiders going into this week to pummel the Dolphins. And the Dolphins hung in there with Jacoby Brissett as their starting quarterback.
They did, yeah.
Once again, don't get me wrong, the Raiders won, which to me is starting to solidify that, okay, what we were wondering about, maybe they are a good team because they're even games that they're supposed to win that you could lose, they're still winning those games. Which, by the way, if you're gonna rank games of the week, yeah, that one's probably it's pretty up there, either number 1 or number 2. I actually turned the Bucs Rams game off and switched to that game, and I was like, oh, I saw the last end of the fourth quarter and into overtime. Mm-hmm. And it was just electric, all the crap going on. And the Raiders were all over the place. I mean, they still play loose and fast. You know what I mean? They're going to make 20 mistakes and they're going to make 25 good plays. And they got to hope the good plays outweigh the mistakes. I have to ask, just wondering, because Jacoby Brissett played that game and the offense looked better under Jacoby than it has over Tua throughout the whole season. Brissett is not as mobile, but he's better. He's a better quarterback. Are we over Tua at this point? I think Tua was the biggest draft day bust since I don't know, Mitch Trubisky. Seriously though, I mean, are you telling me that the Dolphins would not rather have Justin Herbert right now? Oh, I'm sure they would, and they could have. Right, they could have. They could have absolutely had him, right? I mean, they could have Joey Burrow, who's playing pretty damn good, right? And instead, they ended up with Tua and Tua. No, they couldn't have Burrow. Burrow went first. Traded that for him. They could have, but the Bengals sucked, and they needed. Or they could have tanked for him. They could have actually tanked for him. Maybe. But no, I mean, it's Tua. I mean, unless he just has some miraculous change in his ability, which again, it does happen, right? How many times have we talked? And I've trashed Dak Prescott for not being able to consistently hit a 10-yard slant, right? And then out of nowhere, he has an elite arm. He can't miss. Yeah, I don't know how that happens. But whatever quarterback school that Dak is going to in the offseason, all NFL quarterbacks should be going to that quarterback school, right? Because he went from legit you saw the David Carr video where David Carr hit every single target. Derek. No, it was David. It was retired David Carr. He hadn't played the game of football. It was on NFL Network. They had a throwing competition. It was Super Bowl week or whatever. Okay. And Dak was on. They were interviewing him, and then they had a little throwing competition. And David Carr hit every single target down the thing. And I don't know if Dak had been drinking or what the deal was,
but he hit like 2 out of 7 targets.
Okay.
And I was like, this guy, like, we can't pay this guy.
Well, David was always accurate. He just wasn't good under pressure, which unluckily enough for him, he played in Houston where he took a shit ton of sacks.
But now, maybe Tua can turn around. Oddly enough, I think Jalen Hurts is somebody who I kind of look at that maybe if given enough time and given the right coaching.
Yeah.
Because all he really needs is just to fine tune his like deep ball a little bit and like get his rhythm on the slant routes and stuff. And he could be a really good quarterback.
Truthfully,
he's not going to get that chance though.
No, not with this coach.
No chance.
I don't like this coach. I know week 1 we were kind of questioning it, but the more and more I've watched of this coach, the more and more I start to believe, he don't have a clue what he's doing.
No. So I'm watching the game last night. We'll get into the game, but I was watching the game last night with an Eagles fan, right?
Yeah.
And that Eagles fan jokingly, but there's some truth to every joke. He pretty much said that like Nick Sirianni was the guy who won a chance to be a head coach for a day. The only difference is it's not a day. It's like he's like the fan that gets to coach his team now.
Right. Right.
He's like, that's what it feels like. He's like the press conferences. It just seemed like a giddy fanboy,
Yeah, he's not an NFL coach, but he is, I guess.
He is an NFL coach.
He gets paid like an NFL coach.
He's just not a good one. And to think they could have had Wonder Boy. They could have had Kellen Moore as their head coach.
They could have had that. They could have had Bieniemy from KC.
Yeah. We've got no looks.
And I'll be honest with you, Bieniemy with what's it called, Jalen Hurts. I could actually see that working.
And you know what? I kind of like that Houston coach. I'd never heard of him before.
Scott McCauley.
He was never even a coordinator ever. He's been on NFL staff.
Yeah, he's been just
years.
like an assistant coach.
But like you don't, as a head coach, and they were talking about this on one of the radio shows I listened to today. As a head coach, you don't really need to. You have coordinators to be coordinators.
Yeah.
You need to manage the game and you need to motivate your team, right? And you need to just oversee things. So he could potentially be a really good coach.
We'll see. I'm not sure.
I mean, he's got a lackluster talent and he's making them win. So.
That's partially the GM down there. And who is that GM? Isn't he the praise? No, they brought the Patriots guy in to be the GM, right. Yeah. But the assistant to the owner who basically is running everything, the guy that praised the Lord Jesus guy.
Right.
He must be having them pray every day.
Hey, it's working. Practice. Hey, Tebow showed us. If you praise the high and mighty, you're gonna win football games.
You just brought that name up, and that makes me wonder why that guy hasn't said to the owner, this is the guy we need. We need him in Houston. He'll pray with me. He'll run this team. He could be our quarterback.
I think he's too big to be a quarterback now. Have you seen the guy?
He's on the roids.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely on the juice. How he didn't get flagged by the NFL. Oh, we totally skipped by the other news of the week.
Oh, we'll get to it.
Okay. You're moving the camera on us, dude. Every time you hit it, the cord shakes.
The cord. Yeah. Okay. I was wondering. I'm like, wait.
You just ruined it, Sean. Now the rest of the. Oh, God, stop it. No, stop it. Don't hit it anymore.
Can we hit it on your side and bounce it back?
I don't think so. I'm not going to try it. Our video is going to be ruined now. So yeah, we're using a webcam, and I moved the webcam down for a better angle, and it's tied up with the microphone cable. Oh, stop! You're gonna like eliminate me from the. See, if I go this way, I'm eliminated from the screen. Okay, Chris Tucker. Yeah, Chris Tucker. You got me off my rhythm here, Sean. Tucker. I don't even know his first name anymore.
Chris Rock.
Whatever. Christian Slater.
How do we get to Christian?
I don't know. Tucker nailed the 66-yard field goal.
Dude, he hits everything.
Okay, good job.
He hits everything.
You're a beast. I wish you were my kicker.
Who doesn't?
I mean, can we clone him? Can we just put him into the machine and pop out clones?
I don't think the Ravens will allow it.
No, probably not.
Ian, what are you doing over there?
I don't know. I'm in the corner. You put baby in the corner.
You're lucky that that's a wide angle lens.
He said going into in the warm-ups that day, his long was 64. So what he did, and if you slow it down and watch it in slow motion, he did a little jump step.
Yeah.
Like to get his extra Like, so like he runs, does a jump step and kicks it. It was pretty crazy to watch. And then of course it hits the crossbar and bounces into the net. Like, what luck. Like, I guess to be a great NFL kicker, you gotta have skill, but you also have to have a little luck, right? You gotta have a little luck.
Dude, 66 yards in you're kicking 66 yards and you're hitting between what, a 10-yard radius roughly?
Yeah, I think it is 10 yards wide. Yeah.
So 10 yards from 66 yards away.
Well, and then of course, what you said, he says he can make a kick from 84
and a half.
The Cowboys came out and said they're very confident Greg DeLay could make a 75+ yard field goal.
Let's see it.
I'm just saying, like, so like, hey, the question is this record gonna hold up?
Let's see it.
And then Prater tried a 68-yard field goal, and that bit them in the ass. So please, Mike McCarthy, do not try. That will bite us in the ass, right?
Didn't you guys give your guy a chance at like 62 or something like that earlier in game 1 against the Bucs?
I definitely know he did a long 60-yarder this year. I think he missed it just barely. It wasn't length though; it was to the left or the right. Who do you got? Class of the AFC. Who's your AFC team right now?
That's the best I got for you.
I mean, everybody would have said going into the Chiefs. They're 1-2.
Their offense looks great. Their defense looks shitty.
Their defense is the Cowboys of last year.
Yeah, it's really bad.
It's really bad.
But their offense is unstoppable. It's ridiculous when you look at it. But geez, it's rough. Because there's a few teams, but nobody really sticks to me out of those few teams, like the Raiders, the Browns. Nobody really sticks out. Like the Browns had a moment against the Texans.
The Tekkens.
The Tekkens.
Tekken
Bowl. Remember Tekken Bowl?
Yes, I do.
They had a moment against the Texans where they were kind of dropping off. But then you have the Raiders who had this week against the Dolphins. Those would be the top two in my mind. And I'm having a hard time saying that.
Broncos are 3-0 with Teddy gloves.
Yeah,
they haven't played anybody.
That's why I'm saying that. Yeah, no.
Chargers, pretty good.
Yeah, that's actually a decent one.
I mean, they easily could have won the Cowboys game. They'd be 3-0.
So my question there, because then you have to go within their division against the Raiders. And what's your opinion of that Raiders?
I really like that Raiders team. Their defense is feisty. I'm not saying it's like top 10, but it's feisty. And
I think that's the difference, though, too.
And Derek Carr, like, his deep ball is amazing. Like, now that he's got some, like, legit receivers out there, he's dropping dimes. I mean, I kind of like them. They're a little feisty.
Okay.
I definitely think they're going to make the playoffs. They'll be one of those extra teams making the playoffs. Or they might win their division. Who knows?
When you start 3-4-0, as long as you just don't tank.
Right. You just
it's
can't
hard
lose.
To miss.
You just can't lose like 6 in a row.
Right. It's hard not to miss if you don't tank.
Man, I mean, the Bills look really strong after the last 2 weeks, but then
that's true. That's actually one I forgot about.
They look really strong.
But then they had the week against the Steelers, who the Steelers aren't anything at this moment.
Can we just eliminate the NFC South or the AFC South? Like, can we just, hey, you guys can keep playing, but you're eliminated from playoff competition.
Can we give the extra seed to
let's give the extra seed to the West, right?
Right.
The AFC West. They definitely need it.
They can get 2 division winners and a wild card for that division.
Right. They have division winner A and B, and then they get 2 wild card spots. Right. Like,
there you go.
You're gonna waste a playoff team, just like last year at the NFC East. You're going to waste the playoff team on the 8 and 9 Tennessee Titans.
But let's be honest. You say that about them, but then go to the North. We all said about how impressive the Browns have been so far. They lost 1 to the Chiefs in a shootout form.
Yeah.
Okay. The Ravens have been without running backs all year, and they beat the Chiefs, and they're 2-1. You have the Bengals, who are also 2-1.
The Ravens did need a 4th and 19 conversion and a 66-yard field goal to beat the Lions.
They still won, right?
Still won.
It
counts as a W.
And the Lions, they didn't have a chance against the Packers, but week 1 against the 49ers, they made that massive comeback. So
I mean, I don't think you're going to bet against the Chiefs like long term.
No, I'm still not. I'm still
not going to bet against.
I'm still predicting that they will be in the Super Bowl at the end of the year.
But early on, I think my class is I like the Raiders the best.
Right now, Yeah, that's probably where I'm going. It's the Raiders.
Would we have ever guessed that going into the year?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Well, the funny thing is, I guess that like 2 or 3 years ago.
3 years ago, yeah.
Right when we had our other show for like 8
Didn't you
weeks.
have them versus the 49? No, 49ers.
Jimmy G. Which I was a year off on that, by the way. They went to the Super Bowl next year.
I know.
Yeah.
So NFC to me, there's a lot more teams on the plus side.
A lot of good teams at the NFC.
The AOC, I'm more wondering, okay, who's for real?
The weird thing.
The NFC, I'm wondering, okay, who's not?
The weird thing is the West again. So it's just the West side of the country knows how to play football. The West is unreal. You got, every single team in that division is good.
Yeah.
I would say the Seahawks are the worst at this point.
And would you said that after week 1?
No, and would I bet against them going forward? No, you can't. Not with Russ Wilson and DK Metcalf.
So what? You have the 49ers, they're 2-1? They lost to the Packers this week.
They would have been 3-0 if it weren't for Aaron Rodgers' heroics.
Cardinals are 3-0.
Cardinals are 3-0.
Rams are 3-0. So you have 2 3-0 teams, and both of them, the Cardinals look like a Madden team.
The Seahawks are 1-2 with 2 pretty rough losses there.
Yeah. And then the 49ers are 2-1.
Oddly enough, if I had to choose a team to play out of that division, I'd rather play the 49ers. I think that they just don't have enough firepower to keep up with the top offenses.
Oh, you're not scared of Debo.
No.
Debo.
And Kittle looks like he lost a step.
Yeah.
And Jimmy G he's just bad.
I want Trey Lance. I want to see Trey Lance.
Did you see that? You probably didn't.
No, I didn't.
Like the fumble Jimmy G had. He literally got scared and turned around and just threw the ball into the dirt, which was a backwards pass, so it turned into a fumble.
All right.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Jimmy G.
The guy is he just folds under pressure. I don't know how he got to a Super Bowl.
So let's see here. We'll probably have the Packers winning their division.
The Vikings look good the last 2 weeks.
They've lost.
No, they won the last 2 weeks.
They won both? I thought they lost one of those two.
The Seahawks and no, you're right. They lost the first 2. They should have won all 3 games. But so yeah, they're 1-2. But I wouldn't rule them out.
Okay.
Well, yeah, Packers will probably win the division.
Okay, so the Packers, the Rams or the Cardinals, I'm probably putting my money on the Cardinals.
I think the Rams, Cardinals, and one of the other 2 are going to make the playoffs.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying division-wise.
Probably the
Rams. So who else do we have?
We got
the Buccaneers.
The Bucs and the Saints battling out.
It's the Buccaneers. The Saints still look horrible.
Defense was good.
You have to have in this NFL. Defense is great, but you still have to have offense.
And then I think we can, barring injury,
your Cowboys, yeah,
we can just wrap up the NFC East right now, barring injury.
Yeah, unless something crazy happens, but I just can't see. Like, what are the not the Redskins, Washington football team? What are
WFT? They are
2-1,
1-2,
1-2. Giants are
0-3. 1-2 for the Eagles.
1-2 for the Eagles.
Soon to be 1-3 because they're about to go play a super pissed off Chiefs team.
Yeah, there's good.
How do you like that? Oh, yeah, you get the Falcons and the 49ers to start the season, 2 winnable games for you, but then you're going to get plastered by the Cowboys, and then you have to go face probably the most upset team in the NFL in the Kansas City.
1-2 Chiefs right now.
Oh, I would not want to face the Chiefs.
That is the worst team in the league.
Hands down. Class of the NFC, you got to give it the Rams, right?
Yeah, you have to. They just beat the Bucs.
And the Cardinals are like, they're the cardiac Cardinals because they're just so wild and crazy and they just somehow eke out games.
I call them Madden because when I watch their games, they look like you're playing a Madden video game is what they look like. And don't get me wrong, that's not just their quarterback. The receivers, the way they play.
The defense just letting up touchdowns and being all 7 sacks one game and letting up 34 points the next game. Almost like they lost the first half to the Jaguars. And just out of nowhere, figured
let's
out.
Turn it on.
Let's start playing.
Let's go throw some touchdowns and
let's start playing.
Nonetheless, my money would still be on the Rams at this point. I said that beforehand.
I do think that teams like the Rams are something new right now, right? Because
are they though, or is this just a quarterback that can actually do what McVay wants to do?
Well, no, but this is new, as in they have a quarterback that's elite in throwing the football down the field, which they haven't had before. So teams will figure out a way to play.
I have to say, you said one word there that I'm actually super excited to hear because I feel like he deserves it forever, and that's for Stafford.
Oh, we've talked.
You called him elite. Me and you have said this.
Yeah,
but he's been underrated for years
so
by a lot of people.
He's been on such a bad team.
But he's so good.
He elevated such a horrible team to be mediocre every year.
He is a guy that with this offense, I could see 50 touchdowns.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He's never been even in that ballpark before, but I could see it with this team.
I could see it too. And they got a heck of a defense too.
And the catch that is he probably won't throw more than 10 picks. That's just how good he is.
Has he thrown one?
I think he's like 9 for 1 or something like that, or maybe higher in the touchdown rate. He may have 1 pick, maybe.
Yeah, I would put the Rams up there, but I will say you can never rule out Tom Brady.
Of course, you
can never rule out Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
and I don't think you know, and it's maybe a homer thing, but I don't think anybody wants to face the Cowboys right now.
No, the offense is there.
Yeah, it's the offense is so good, and the defense is opportunistic.
Didn't we say this a few years ago? We saw the Chiefs and the Rams when it was Jared Goff. Remember that game? That was like 56-54.
Oh, yeah. I remember
shootout the whole game.
Yep.
If, say, the Rams were to play your Cowboys at some point during the season, before the playoffs, I could see that being the same kind of game.
Yeah, just lights out, scoring everywhere.
Yep. Same thing with the Chiefs. If you mix the Chiefs into that,
I feel like once you get into the playoffs, so that those defenses just tighten down somehow, some way. They always seem to tighten down.
Yeah, I agree. But eventually, you realize that the NFL is trending away from defense and trending more towards offense. It's better for TV.
Who's the worst team in the NFL? I think the two teams that you have to think the most of are both on the AFC.
Well, the Jags.
The Jags and the Jets, right?
Yeah.
Like, is there an NFC team to even throw in there? The Lions? But the Lions have been scrappy, though.
They're scrappy. I
wouldn't say they're the worst.
I don't put the Lions in there.
Let's see. Anybody else? No, I mean, there's just no other teams. I mean, the Giants are 0-3. You can throw them in there.
They look good, though. They look good, though.
They've come close to winning games.
Same with the Eagles. The Eagles have looked good when they've seen. You know what I mean?
I really did. I mean, I knew the Jets were going to be bad. I didn't think they would be this bad.
Yeah.
With that coach. I just really like their coach. I just didn't think that would happen.
Once again, I think building your unit takes time.
If I was a Jaguars fan, I would have been super excited going into the year. Like, we got Urban Meyer. We got a new quarterback. This is great. And now you're watching this and you're going like, which I don't fully blame the quarterback. I think he's trying to do too much.
I think he's getting too much thrown on him.
Yeah, he's trying to do too
much.
What
else are you going to do?
Yeah, he's definitely trying to do too much. And that happens to rookie quarterbacks. But Urban Meyer just seems like he can't coach.
I like Urban Meyer. I know he came into this and I heard him. I'm not going to coach. I'm going to leave my offensive coordinator do the offense. I'm going to leave my defense coordinator do the defense. And he's going to stay back and do the coaching thing like you said earlier.
Which is what a good coach does. They delegate.
And I appreciate that. The problem I have is if that's the accurate fact and you're letting the offensive coordinator run the offense, you have James Robinson, who was killer last year. Why are you mixing in Carlos Hyde on a 50-50 ratio with him?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Why would you do that from an offensive perspective? I knew the defense was going to suck. They got rid of most of their players, and you just said they traded C.J. Henderson now. So the only guy I think I can remember they have on their defense is Miles Jack.
Jack's a beast.
But they basically got rid of the whole defense, so you know they have to rebuild the defense. So I can't really blame the defense coordinator when you have no talent whatsoever. But on the offensive side of the ball, they have decent talent. DJ Chark, Chenault, Jones, James Robinson, your star quarterback, and Trevor Lawrence.
I think the Jets are the worst team in the NFL.
To this point, right now, it seems like they don't know how to do a lot of offensive things.
You can't score points, and in the NFL, you got to score points to win games. I could see the Jags sneaking out a game against the Texans or the Colts or the Titans. You know, one of those.
The Jets themselves. I don't know if they play the Jets. Yeah, well, it all comes down to who they play.
Yeah.
But that being said,
I can't see the Jets beating anybody on any given Sunday.
Man, that's pretty bad.
I really can't. I've watched a little bit of their games and I look at the stats and I just don't
So let's see here. So the Jets this week play the Titans.
Loss.
They play the Falcons following week.
Loss.
Patriots.
Loss.
Bengals.
Loss.
Colts.
Loss.
Bills.
Loss.
Dolphins.
Loss.
Texans.
Loss.
Eagles.
Loss.
Saints.
Loss.
Dolphins.
Loss.
Jaguars.
That's the only one.
Jaguars.
They do face the Jaguars. That's the only one they have a chance of winning.
You think that's going to be the battle of who gets the first overall pick this year?
Oh, that's going to be battle for number 1 pick. No doubt.
So Buccaneers lost, Bills lost again. Huh?
Unless the Bills bench all their starters.
Which maybe they will.
Could happen.
Maybe they will.
I'm going to go Jets. You going Jets? Worst team in the NFL?
I'm taking a look at the Jaguars schedule too here.
Well, the Jaguars play their same division over and over again.
So let's see here. They got the Bengals this upcoming week. Probably a loss.
Yeah.
Bengals look pretty good this week, to be honest with you.
Loss to the Titans.
Loss. Seahawks
They
loss.
could sneak the Dolphins. I don't see anything in the Dolphins right now that made me go like that team's a winner.
I'll be honest with you, I said that too, and then they put up that big fight this week with the Raiders, and I never would have.
It was fluky though, it was fluky.
Once again, I would have never expected it. So
yeah,
but we said about the NFL in general. There's a lot of never expected. Colts lost. Maybe, yeah, they haven't actually. That's another team that actually has been pretty bad this year.
0-3.
49ers loss. Falcons have been bad this year, dude.
I can see them. I mean, the Giants almost beat the Falcons. I can see the Jags pulling off a game there.
Rams.
I think they beat the Jets.
The Jets.
They beat the Jets.
The Texans.
The Texans or the Jaguars will win 2 to 3 games potentially.
I'll be honest with you. The more I look at the Jaguars schedule, because I can see them beating the Colts one, if not both times. I can see them beating the Jets, like you just said, which is 2, if not 3 wins right there. I could see them beating the Texans, which is 4. I could see them beating the Falcons as well.
I could at least see them going 3-14.
I could see 3-14, 5-13.
Here's the trump card. If they go like 0-8 and then their coach leaves to take the
USC job.
That might be the trump card. That could tank the franchise right there.
That really could. That could screw everything over for them. Oh, shit. We just did all this marketing, built this new image, and that coach left before the end of his first year. And then he's going to go do the Nick Saban thing and run USC for championship after championship for the next 10 years.
Every week's Alabama. That's what he said. Every week's Alabama in the NFL.
Well, that's true. You're getting Alabama has.
Yeah, but you don't say it. You just don't say it. I'm sorry, you don't say it.
Are we moving again?
I don't know. Who knows? I feel like I'm getting closer and closer to this corner.
Why do you move it? You just did it again.
Our team, Sean. You wanna talk about your dumpster fire?
It's a dumpster fire. The end. No. So we have a quarterback that can't move. We have an offensive line that can't protect. We have a superstar running back. I don't know if you could deny that after watching him.
He's great.
We have weapons at receiver that keep dropping the ball.
Ebron needs to be cut.
Fryer move is tight end at this point.
Yeah, but Ebron can't catch a ball.
That's why I'm saying that.
Save his life.
At least you could do is learn how to block, but he can't block.
Claypool can't catch a ball either. He's bad.
The only guy really doing well is Deontay Johnson, and he's injured. Hurt. So
you know who I liked?
Who?
At 14, your kick returner at receiver.
McLeod.
Ray. He was good.
Funny enough, if you look up pro football rating on a player, he was our worst rated player from this week.
Really?
Yep.
He caught everything thrown his way. He was shifty.
He was the worst rated player. You know who the number 1 guy is? And I can't believe it. So I don't know how to logistically believe these scores. No, he was in the top 5 though. Trey Turner, the guard.
The guy who spit.
The guy who spit in the guy's face the week before. He was the number 1 overall player at 87.7.
I don't know how they do that.
I have no idea.
It's like the fantasy football ratings, like your projections. I don't know how they do that because they suck so bad.
Yep, I don't know.
Like you were rated to smoke me this week, and I smoked you, bro.
Oh, I know. Tell me about it.
I'm just saying.
And the funny part is, I went into this week thinking that was going to happen.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I thought you were going to beat me.
Nope, I didn't.
I mean, Tyreek killed 9 points.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Tyreek. You're still playing for my team, buddy. That horrible trade I had to do with you last year.
I'm already on the trading block looking for receivers now, so.
Yeah, I got Mike Williams. I'd make a trade.
However, I will tell you though, what's it called? I made that trade for Edwards-Helaire. And he finally had a week, 100 yards rushing this week and a few receptions.
Yeah.
Finally had a week. Keep it up, man.
You want to trade Aaron Jones for
no.
For Mike Williams?
No.
Mike Williams? He's a beast?
No.
Okay.
I'm not trading running backs.
All right, whatever. Okay. When I watched the Steelers, and I did watch it. My mom was there. I watched it.
Oh, hold on. By the way, I didn't finish.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Did I cut you off? My fault. I thought we were done.
No, I didn't bring up the defense.
Okay.
So defense let up 24 points this week. Secondary looked horrible, but that's because half of our pass rushers and TJ Watt, Highsmith are on injured right now. Well, if you can't get pressure on the quarterback, guess what? Guess who hurts the most on that secondary?
Well, Melvin Ingram was also banged up. Like he kept going out, coming in, going out.
Yep, and that's the name of our defense right now. Is if they've taken a beating this year. Alua, our defensive tackles after the year. Tuitt's not back yet.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about that. Tuitt, Alua, Hayden was back this week, but he was out the week prior. Watt, Highsmith.
I mean, it all comes down to Watt.
Oh, it really does.
I
If he
mean,
was playing that game,
yeah.
that would be a different story on the defensive side.
There would have been a sack fumble or something.
He makes plays.
Yeah.
But no, I literally just gave you 5 guys that are out, that are starters and good, big time starters for us.
Here's my problem. My problem is that there's something wrong with Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, his offensive line.
No, but even when he has a clean pocket and he has time to throw, he just doesn't seem right.
I don't think he likes the new offense that's being run by Canada.
Maybe, but is that enough for him to just say screw it?
Well, he kind of said it after week 2.
Really?
I don't know if you heard the sound bites. Literally directly after the game, there's a sound bite where he basically said, I don't know why we don't throw it down the middle of the field. We throw it to the outside or on the move for short yardage. I don't know why. Ask the offensive coordinator. And then Mike Tomlin said in the heat, Mike Tomlin almost tried to defend it and kind of downplay it. So and then Ben had the next interview after Tomlin downplayed it, and they put Ben back on the block. And Ben very easily could have said, yeah, it was just the heat of the moment, and could have pulled it down for the name of the team. Do you think he did that? No.
Ben's not a team guy.
Ben reiterated that I think we should be going down the middle more often. And I don't know why we're not, if it hasn't been working. And he actually said in there, this is the hardest I've worked in a preseason to get ready for regular season. And this is frustrating me.
I mean, honestly, I think if you take any of the top 20 quarterbacks in the NFL and put them in the Steelers uniform on Sunday, I think the Steelers put up more than 10 points.
So I said this, me and you watched most drafts together. And if you remember, I was calling for, and once again, I actually I'm happy they didn't draft him now. But at the time I wanted him, I told him to draft Lamar Jackson when he was available to us in the draft.
Yeah.
What would he have done in this offense? He's a mobile quarterback.
He would have a lot of fun in that offense.
May not have a line, but has a lot of weapons around him.
I mean, when you think about it, would you take Kirk Cousins right now over Ben?
No, he's still not mobile. That line's not going to protect them.
I mean, he's still going to make throws. Though. He's still going to every game. He's a gunslinger. He's going to make those throws. I don't think Ben can make the throws anymore.
See, I do. I watched most of the games. I've seen the arm. The arm is there. It's not the problem. It's the either fear of taking a hit, because the last few times he's taken hits, like he has that pec injury.
Oh yeah, I saw him grabbing at it the one time, getting up. He's like,
he took a shot. He took a headshot. The guy launched himself like a missile with his helmet and hit him right there.
Right in the pec.
They said it. The doctor came out and said, yeah, he can play. It's going to be painful, but he can play. Oh, gut it out, man, if that's what you want to do.
Who the Steelers play next week?
Dude, Green Bay.
Oh.
Yeah, right?
It doesn't get any easier, huh?
In Green Bay. In Lambeau.
In
Lambeau.
Oh, my goodness.
However, I guarantee you Watt will play. Hometown hero. I guarantee you Aaron Rodgers will find the ground at some point from TJ Watt, if not more than once.
Man, I hope the Steelers turn around because honestly, like, I mean, you know, I have this like rivalry thing going on with the Steelers fans because I'm here all the time and whatever. But like, I kind of want like, you know, like I'm watching these games with my mom. I kind of want them to be competitive for my mom. Like,
yeah, I get it.
Like she was so like you could tell like it was just killing her inside that like how bad they were playing.
So you remember me in the preseason before I kind of listened to you and almost got talked in by you that the Steelers are probably better than I expected. You remember me in the preseason. I almost said I want to see a rebuild because I know how bad the offensive line is. I know it's time. I love Ben. I don't love Ben, but I respect Ben for what he is as a player and how he is a Hall of Fame quarterback. I respect Ben. Therefore, the reason why I was okay with him coming back just for respect reasons alone. However, you need a quarterback. And I'm not positive it's on the roster. Maybe it is. I could hope it is, but I'm not positive.
Don't get me wrong. It's week 3 we just finished up with. They got plenty of time to turn the shit.
Correct. But here's where I'm going to tell you to backtrack with what you're saying. What happened after their 11-0 start last year?
Oh, they were horrible.
They were horrible, right? Yeah. They won 1 game.
And we talked multiple times last year during that 11-0 stretch that like they're playing all backup quarterbacks and you know like
they went 11-0 and they looked decent at times, not great but decent at times. The defense was phenomenal.
Yeah, the defense always
which the defense is injured right now. I mean, don't get me wrong, defense gets healthy. Are the Steelers probably a 7-8 win team when the defense is 100% healthy and fully running? Yeah, they're probably still a 7-win team even in their division.
I think they got to be better than that.
The offensive line is too bad. And here's the catch. To get the offensive line to be mediocre, it takes you about half a year. Well, what happens if they're 1-7 at half a year point?
Well, then you go to Haskins.
Okay. And then you're still 50-50 the rest of the year because you're still not, you have a great defense. You don't have a great team.
Right.
And the main issue starts, and everybody says this. You start football teams. Yes, the quarterback's the most important position on the field in the NFL. However, you start building your team from the line, the defensive line and the offensive line, and then you build from there. The issue the Steelers have is the offensive line. And right now, the defensive line, without Tuitt and Alua, without those two, the defensive line, as good as it's been, which is admirable for the coaching and everything else going on, but that's the issue, is that core foundation right in the middle is where the issues are. It's kind of hard to be good when you don't have a good core.
It's true. Having a bad offensive line is not easy. I mean, I saw it last year with the Cowboys and all of our starters, right? It's just, it's a mess, you know?
I wouldn't have an issue with Ben right now if we actually had a line that could protect him because I feel like he would play his game and they would be decent.
You know who is decent?
Who?
How about the Cowboys?
At least you said decent.
Did you watch the game at all?
I watched some of it.
I mean,
I have interest in Jalen Hurts, if you remember.
You do have interest in Jalen Hurts. I'm going to keep this quick because I was told that I talked too much about my team last week, even though we talked long about your team. But I'm going to keep it quick.
I didn't talk long about my team. You talked long about my team.
It's true. It's true. I'm going to try and keep this as quick as possible. I mean, the offense is what the offense is. They're explosive, right? Mm-hmm. But if you actually watch the game and paid attention to the game, Dak fumbled in the end zone, right? Mm-hmm. Gave a touchdown up. And the last touchdown was like a garbage time touchdown that we already had half our starters sitting on the sideline. That defense pitched a 7-point game against a division rival. Yeah. And let me tell you,
division rival that has a horrible coach.
And is just nowhere near talent-wise, right? There's just not enough talent on that team.
This is what I wanted to say earlier when we were talking. Okay, so from that stupid coach that's in that team, okay, so you have a quarterback that can run the ball and has some arm ability and has some play ability. You have a running back in Miles Sanders who, they gave him 4 carries?
I think they gave him 2 carries for
2.
29 yards. He was averaging 10 yards a carry.
And he's been good this year in general. Yeah. He's been good this year. And you didn't give the running back the ball, yet you couldn't throw the ball. Don't you realize that if you let the running back run, they may have to protect the run? That way you can actually try to throw the ball?
Yeah.
There's a philosophy here. That's why you use both of them.
Well, a good coach would probably know philosophy. I don't think Sirianni knows philosophy.
No.
Here's the thing. I think if you take the NFC East 3 teams outside of Dallas and put them together, maybe you got a decent team. You could have a good defense. You could have I don't know, is Daniel Jones the quarterback of that team? And then you could have a good.
I like Jalen Hurts. If you want my honest opinion,
I think Judge is a good coach.
Yes.
I think Rivera's a good coach.
Here's the catch.
One of those guys.
You're saying quarterbacks? The 3 other than yours, other than Dak, I actually think Jalen's the most talented of the 3.
Arm talent?
Well, here's what I would tell you.
Talent.
Here's what I would tell you. If Jalen was on Washington football team with Rivera as his coach, who knows how to play with a running quarterback that can make plays, has a good running back, has receivers in Terry McLaurin and I guess Curtis Samuel's not back yet. But
and I said it earlier, I think Hurts has the potential to get better with time like Dak did. But right now he just doesn't have the arm talent. His balls are so inconsistent. Like watching that game, he's throwing behind people, over people's heads. He was like that. The first interception he threw, he just let it sail.
How much of that is playing with confidence, though?
Oh, probably a lot of it.
Because when you win, you play with confidence. When you have a coach that actually knows how to play, that knows how to put you in positions to win, that's different. This goes back then. I didn't get to say this with the Steeler part, and I meant to. My issue with the Steelers, and I said it to you, I think, before off air. My issue with the Steelers, and this is backtracking, but is the offensive coordinator, the line coach. Reason being, the offense coordinator should wisen up and say, oh, this isn't working. I need to adjust what I'm doing because this isn't working for the team. The line coach, the line looks so disheveled and so out of place that it's hard to just say, okay, so college players, you learn how to play, right? You learn spots and placements. It may not make you great. You may not be great at it, but you learn how to do things. How are they out of place? How are they taking so many holding calls? They took, in the first 2 drives of the game yesterday, they took 6 holding calls. They killed Najee. Najee should have had an additional almost 50 yards rushing that got called back because the line was taking penalties.
None of that falls on Tomlin?
I don't think so. Not in this one. I don't get me wrong, and you know me. I am definitely a person who calls Tomlin out for not being able to take care of his team. But Tomlin is a defensive-minded coach. He always has been, always will be. That's what he came from, is being a defensive coordinator. Don't get me wrong. Yes, you're in charge of the whole team, which at the end of this game, he said our coaches have. He actually said in his press conference, our coaches are an issue. We need to step up. We need to reconsider things. And I can tell you right now, who I just called out as the coordinators is who he's talking about when he says that. And I wouldn't be shocked if some things change over the course of this week, especially if not this week, the following week, because they're going to get blasted by the Packers. The rate they're going, it's going to take a lot for them to be able to get out of the shell. But that being said, this going into the next week for your team, not your team specifically, but the Eagles on the other side, if you have a bad coach who doesn't know how to put you in the right spot or help you, I mean, no matter how talented you are, because Miles Sanders, I think we can all say, is probably a top 15 running back in the NFL.
He's up
somewhere in that ballpark.
20, somewhere in there.
Okay. Yeah. So, but good.
Good
if not great. Yeah. Good if not great.
Solid.
I think we're pretty sure Devontae Smith looks pretty good. The rookie receiver.
He looked talented. Definitely the best receiver they got.
Yeah.
Watkins kid's pretty decent too. I don't know where they got him from.
And then you also, Jalen Hurts, you said there's potential there.
Potential.
But potential needs a coach that can bring it out.
But look, Jalen Hurts needed to sit on the bench for a couple of years.
Probably. But he didn't get that luxury.
He should have. He was behind Wentz. He should have got that luxury.
But the Eagles GM and the Eagles ownership is stupid.
They just biffed it. As a Cowboys fan, I'm just sitting here with a shit-eating grin on my face because while my coach has some issues, meanwhile, why the fuck didn't you call timeout with 1 minute and 40 seconds left to the half when they're on 3rd and 24 and we're going to get the ball back? He just let the whole half just drain out. No, I'm good. We're up 20-7. We're just going to go into halftime. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
So after seeing the Eagles and how bad this new coach is, they fired Doug Peterson, because they wanted to keep Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz still left.
Right. Carson Wentz like, you hire that dude? Deuces.
And you only hired him because he was on Frank Reich's staff.
To try and make me happy.
To make me happy. When Frank Reich just wants me anyways.
Frank Reich, I bet, talked a good game on Sirianni. He probably talked him
I'm sure.
so much to the Eagles. Like, yeah, that Sirianni kid, he's the future.
No.
He's the bee's knees. And then they're like, and then they get him in the interview and like, well, he's a little weird. What stutters a lot, but that's okay. If Frank Reich says he's good.
Can the Eagles tuck their tail between their legs and call Doug back and say, hey, Doug, we fucked up?
No, Doug wouldn't take that back.
Oh, he wouldn't, but he's not in the NFL right now.
You guys are a cluster.
I'll be honest with you. He would, for the Steelers, so I'm saying I don't like Canada. I'd be calling Doug Peterson at the end of the offseason. Hey, I know you don't have the head coaching job. You want to come in and be a offensive coordinator and get yourself back up to that?
Maybe he'd be the head coach. Maybe it's Tomlin's last run.
Yeah, I would definitely give him. I like his offensive. I like his offensive coaching.
Yeah. Man, it's like I expect the offense to be good. The Cowboys defense, though. I mean, Dan Quinn he turned around arguably probably the worst defense in our history in one season, with pretty much an entire draft class devoted to the defense.
You know what I'm hearing? Coaching matters.
Coaching matters. Oh, hands down. Like, because we're down a bunch of starters on defense. It doesn't matter. This Curse guy, I didn't even know who the hell he was when they signed him. As he was like the 17th safety we signed this season. He's balling out. You got like
Diggs.
Diggs is amazing this year. He's got 3 interceptions in 3 games, the pick 6 in that game.
Coaching matters. Like, Dan Quinn was not the best head coach, but putting him as a defensive coordinator, I will go back. We're only getting Crennel under the Patriots staff as defense coordinator. One got his head coaching job, kind of wasn't that good at that. Went back to coordinator, and guess what he did? He was still pretty good. We're going to lose.
Like, he's going to be a head coach again next year, probably.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, after what he did, they're going to be like, oh, he's talented. He's been to a Super Bowl.
Here's my catch. People get hired off of, oh, okay, he can run a defense. Oh, he can run an offense. And I like what you said earlier about Culley. And don't get me wrong, I'm not sold on Culley yet, but I like what you said. Take the second to look and see, can this guy actually run a team? Not just is he good at defense or not just good at offense. Is he actually a good head coach because he knows how to run the operation?
Well, that's why I like McCarthy, even though he makes some boneheaded mistakes occasionally with time management. Maybe he should just hire a time manager.
We've said that before about coaches.
But like, it seems like the team he's just a team guy. The team likes him. He's joking around with everybody all the time. He's a player's coach. I like it. I think they have real potential this year. I'm loving what I'm seeing. Diggs could legit be the best corner in the league right now.
Yeah, we'll see.
He puts Jalen Ramsey. He's right there. I mean, at least ball playing wise, like he is so good at going after the ball. Wow. I'm just, as a Cowboys fan, it's been years of misery. After 3 weeks, I'm pretty happy where we're at. And again, looking forward to the schedule. We now get to play the Panthers without their best player. Then we got to play the Giants. Okay. Then we got to play the Patriots with the rookie quarterback. Very good chance we don't lose another game until our bye week.
Right.
And then we have the Vikings coming out of the bye week. I mean, this team might not lose another game till December.
We'll see.
Till December. Man, I'm stoked.
I'm sure you are.
I mean, man. Hey, listen. Even if the train goes off the fucking rails,
which, as we know, very well could
happen. We smoked the Eagles. That is like one of the only things I could ever want. Like, if we're not going to win the Super Bowl, at least let me smoke the Eagles, smoke the Giants, and smoke the Washington football team a couple times, and like let me feel good about my division. Let us win the division at least, right? But it was great, and it was so much fun. And like Zeke looked great, Pollard looked great, just everything. It was just lots of fun. Everything worked.
So that being said, let's hope at your kids this week.
in kids corner. Is it my turn to go first?
It is. I went
Oh
first
crap! You put me on spot.
week.
So I went golfing, right?
Yeah.
Cassie took Roman to the soccer game, and I can actually read the text off if you want me to.
Geez.
But I get a text number one. Actually, let me pull it up. I'm gonna read this off because it'll be a little entertaining here, right? So where's my wife's text side here? Saturday. Okay, 10:45 game starts, right? It's been 1 minute and your son has already scored a goal. So now that's 2 games in a row he scored a goal. I'm like, and I told him because that Logan kid that scored every other goal for our team is gone. Right? He was supposed, which I guess he ended up showing up halfway through the game.
Oh, geez.
And still played. But I was like, you're gonna have to step up and score. Like you're the only other scorer we got here, you know. So he scored right away, which is great. And then literally that was at 10:46. At 11:05, I get another text that says, yeah, now we're getting absolutely stomped on with a crying emoji.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So that was the extent of that. But no, other than that, Roman had a little friend over on Sunday. Somebody who was on a soccer team a couple years ago and lives by my mom. He came with us and they just had a blast, had a good time. Not pretty uneventful, honestly, in the dad world of things. Well, how about you?
Mine is I am excited. I'm teaching my kids the right things. So I took Ollie and Grayson to the park over the weekend on Sunday.
Okay.
Took them for a walk. We walked around North Park, or not the full park, but we walked around Pie Trainer Field, which is about a mile and a half.
Okay.
So we took a walk. After that, I told them I'd take them to the park because it's right next door. Go over to the park, running around, being crazy, being kids. Okay. So this is a 2-part story. 1 part to Grayson, 1 part to Ollie. 1 part to Grayson is going to be more of a conversation, just so you know.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask your opinion of something. So the Ollie part, kids running around, his shoe comes off. Okay. Ollie runs up, grabs this kid's shoe, takes it over to him. And there you go. Looks at him, waits for a thank you. Doesn't get one. This kid turns around and Ollie all of a sudden goes, thank you, you're welcome, to himself.
He's like, well, you don't say thank you. I will. Thank you, Ollie. Oh, you're welcome, random kid.
And he starts saying, and Ollie does it for the next minute. He walks away, starts walking away. Thank you. You're welcome, Ollie. Thank you. You're welcome.
Wow. He was so baffled that the kid did not say thank you.
Yes.
Like, okay. I'm just going to say thank you to myself a bunch of times.
Well, at least my son knows manners.
It is true.
So,
we taught our kids one.
Right. I just couldn't believe it. Me and my wife were just laughing. We were watching this and laughing. That leads us to, okay, so they're running around the park. They're playing. Grayson, you know Grayson. He's super friendly. Likes to talk to everybody. Likes to be friends with everybody.
Yep. Starts
playing with these kids. There's like 3 of them. They're older. They probably look like they're 8 to 10 range. They start gradually picking on him as they're playing with him because he's slower than them. He's not as fast. And they make fun of him and keep making fun of him. And Grayson's just trying to be nice. He's not even thinking about it. Because you're 5. How do you picture somebody's picking on you or they're going out of their way to make fun of you when they're running around playing with you? Yeah. So we pull them aside. We're like, Greg, we don't think they're being nice to you. Find somebody. There's a lot of other kids. Go find somebody else. So Grayson goes and plays. And then there's this little dragon thing in this park that it has like a little cave area, sort of. So he's under there with Ollie. I see them. Ollie says, Dad, come under. So I actually go and climb under this little thing. And this one kid out of the group goes up and he's like, you're slow. You're really slow. And this kid is in the same group. He's probably, like I said, 8 to 10, somewhere in that ballpark. I'm sitting there. I'm like, I wish I could find the parents because from my side, I have something to say. And Grayson's 5. Grayson's like, I just don't want to play with him, Dad. I bluntly just told him, like, Gray, this is that moment where you got to just tell him, hey, I don't want to play with you. If you don't know how to actually be nice, I don't want to play with you. I'll find somebody else.
Right.
And move on. And if they don't let go of it, then you come and tell me. And if it keeps going on, that's when we'll teach you how to really defend yourself at that point. But it's just one of those moments, like you see your son getting picked on. He's not really realizing it, that's what they're doing. And they're being mean for no reason.
Kids are mean, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you remember the time when Olivia was getting pushed on the playground.
I sort of do, yeah.
Yeah. So, there's this kid. She was probably 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I'm going to get 7 or 8-year-old boy just kept like, he'd run up to her, poof, just push her down on the ground. And she kind of like, get up kind of like a little upset.
Yeah.
And I thought I saw it one time. And then I missed it the second time. And they did it third time. And I'm looking around for this kid's parents.
Yeah.
Don't see his parents anywhere. So I literally walked up and I just grabbed the kid right here and I was like, if you push my daughter on the ground, this is my daughter. You push my daughter on the ground again, we're gonna have problems. He's like, oh, okay. And he just like ran away. I never saw that kid again. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna let you push my daughter.
Right.
Like, it's not gonna happen.
See, if it was physical, I feel like I would have went that route, but it wasn't physically, just verbally.
Yeah, but that could be worse.
That's very much worse. I think that's worse.
Man, it's like, what do you like,
physicality? I can tell my kid, okay, you're gonna defend yourself, but verbal abuse is different. That's the same thing like online, how people talk about online bullying. It's the same idea.
It's just not cool. And I mean, that's why those kids hopefully at some point will learn a lesson. But more than likely, those kids are being bullied by somebody older than them. And
the catch to that is great. Okay, so Grayson's 5, but he's a big 5-year-old.
He's big, yeah, he's a big 5.
If you're an 8-year-old, you're looking at him like, oh, he's probably about the same age as me.
He's like 7, 6, 7.
He's same age. Yeah. Why is he running slower? Well, he's 5. He's not 7 or 8.
Right.
He's still developing all that.
Yeah.
But you don't know that, so you're just going to be rude.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It sucks when things like that happens, but hey, great. As long as Grayson learns that's not the right thing, and he treats other kids better, that's all that matters.
Yeah, and he does. Grayson, well, you know him. He's a good kid.
I mean, we talk about all the time on the show. Like we need to turn the world into nice, right? We gotta all just be nice.
Be able to understand. Like me and you have we as much as we agree on the show a lot of the time, we typically don't. What's that?
Oh, agree.
No, on the show for some reason we've been agreeing a lot lately. That's why I said that.
We might be getting old.
But like me and him have conflicts all the time, and it's never like I say conflict in the sense that we disagree about something. We
could always have a 5-minute show about Disney versus Universal. That'd be fun.
Maybe a 35-minute show.
This was supposed to be 5 minutes. No, it's an hour and 36 minutes.
Right. And Eric will watch it. You guys okay?
You guys okay? You could be friends still.
Right. And me and you were just laughing at the end of it.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, got anything else for anybody?
Cheers, buddy. Go Cowboys.
Cheers. Garbage fires.
Deuces. Keyboard's not working. There we go. It's like we'll have a little video.